Hello, friends. Hello, everyone. So, let's start with the introduction of chapter 1 set theory of class 11, and let's talk about actually what a set is. So, before giving you the formal definition of sets, let me talk about few examples that I have given there on the board. There is first collection, that is A, E, I, O, U. Then there's another collection, that is 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. And then there is third collection, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. As all of us can make it out that all these collections, they are following certain standard instructions. If you talk about first example, that is set A, this collection is what? This collection is representing vowels of English alphabets. If you talk about the second one, isn't it perfect square? This is another perfect square. This is the next perfect square. So this is the square of first 7 natural numbers. And if you talk about the third one, I don't feel that I need to tell you what it actually is. Days of the week, exactly right. So now what a set is. All these three are the examples of set. So set is simply a well-defined collection of distinct objects. Let's go in a reverse way. What is the meaning of distinct? That is, repetition of things is immaterial in sets. Means in set elements are not repeated. So first thing is that elements are not repeated. What you say is elements, चाहे आप उसको मेंबर्स बोलो, ठीक है, जो सेट के अंदर होते हैं, चाहे आप उनको एलिमेंट्स बोलो, ठीक है. So elements of the sets are non-repeated. First thing, that is why the word distinct is there. And then there is the crux of this definition. It is not any collection. It has to be a well-defined collection. Now, by the term well-defined, we actually mean that something that is standardized, actually something that is universally acceptable, something that is independent of personal opinion. So that is what you say is universally valid. This is very important to understand. That is, that doesn't change with place or person. Personal perceptions are not involved. I hope it is very much clear to everyone now. So a set is simply a well-defined collection of distinct objects. Right? Why distinct? Because objects should not get repeated. This is always denoted by the capital letter, like I have denoted it with A, B, and C in the given cases. Right? And all the things that are written inside the curly bracket, they are said to be the elements of the set or the members of the set. Right? You can also say them, sometimes people do call them as objects also. Okay? So you can call them as objects also, but most of the time we will be naming them as the element of the set. So if something is there in the set, like in this case small a is there, so I'll write small a belongs to A. This is the symbol of belongs to. That is actually a Greek symbol. एप्सिलॉन कहते हैं लोग इसको, फिजिक्स में भी पढ़ोगे इसके बारे में, ठीक है. बट हियर दिस एप्सिलॉन डिनोट्स belongs to. So if an element is there in the set, it belongs to the set. Like there is no 5 in set B, so I'll write 5 does not belong to B. So here it is does not. Okay. So what a set is? Set is simply a well-defined collection of objects. Okay, ji? And these objects need to be distinct. If an element is there in the set, it is said to be belongs to the set, and if an element is not there in the set, we say that it does not belong to the set. Now, how can you write a set? Generally, we denote a set by a capital letter and we write all the elements of the set inside the curly brackets. These curly brackets are to be taken care of while writing. So generally it's advisable to you to write it like this, right? And the elements are separated by putting commas in between them. Like if I write it like this, 1 2 3 4, this is, let me take some set. A is already there, so let me take this set as set X. Okay, so here 1 is an element of X, 2 is an element of X, 4 is an element of X. As 5 is not there in X, so 5 does not belong to X. That is what do I say. If something is there in the set, mean it belongs to the set. If it is not there in the set, it does not belong to the set. And here I'll write number of elements in X, that is n of X is equal to 4. This is what do I say, cardinal number. So cardinal number of a set is actually the number of elements in the set. Like cardinal number of this set A is what, 5. Cardinal number of set B is what, 7. Similarly, cardinal number of set C is what, 7. Right, sir? So we'll be talking about it more when we're talking about equal and equivalent sets as well as finite and infinite sets. Right, okay, sir? So right now, let's talk about how to write a set, or what are the various forms of writing a set. So there are two forms of writing a set. There are two ways of writing a set. One is the roster form, and the second one is set builder form. Roster form and set builder form. The roster form is like, if I talk about the first example that I wrote, A, E, I, O, U. So this is the roster form of the set. If I have to write it's a set builder form, so I'll write it as A is equal to some arbitrary element X such that X is a vowel in English alphabet. As the name suggests, set builder form, actually this form helps us to build a set. When we're talking about some specific sets, every time it will not be possible for us to write the set in the roster form. So in most of the cases, we will be using set builder form to denote the sets. Right? In roster form, the elements are visible. What you say is there are two basic things we talk about now, concrete and abstract. So the roster form is actually where you can see concrete values of the elements, and set builder is where it is the abstract form, where you have to visualize what is there inside the set. Like if I talk about another case, if I'll take one more example here, if I take a set B like X such that X belongs to, okay fine, I will not write writings because I have not discussed the symbols of natural number and whole numbers. I'll just write it in a statement only, X such that X is a natural number less than 3. So what are the possible values for a natural number to be less than 3? If I have to write in the roster form, it will be what? 1 and 2. Now if I write X such that X is a whole number greater than 0 but less than 3. Think about the whole numbers which are greater than 0 and less than 3. Again this is same. Right. So what do we observe from this? So you have to reach to a conclusion that for a same set in the roster form, we can have different ways of writing it in the set builder form. But when you convert a set builder form to the roster form, you always get a unique conclusion. So for understanding level in the very beginning, we will be using the concept of roster form more than the set builder form. But as the topic will progress, like we'll move to second chapter, we'll start making use of the set builder form. The set builder form is an equally important form, right? So let's have few examples where the roster forms are to be converted to set builder form and vice versa, right? So if you talk about converting this roster form to the set builder form, some interesting examples are there, like a set A is given to us x such that x is a natural number and x lie between 1 by 2 and 5 by 2. So whenever you get these type of questions, what is suggested to you is it's advisable to make use of number line, because if you'll make use of number line, it will be easy for you to understand this, right sir? So if you draw the number line, what do we need is actually the natural numbers, and between 1 by 2 and 5 by 2. So like we generally take somewhere 0, it's 1, 2, 3 or 4, whatever you want to take. Now 1 by 2 is what? 0.5. So this value lie between this, the midpoint of that 0 and 1, and 5 by 2 is what? 2.5. So it is the midpoint of 2 and 3, right? So this is the limit. Neither we can go to left of half and nor we can go to the right of 2.5. Now can you see the natural numbers lying between 1 by 2 and 5 by 2? Quite obvious. The natural numbers lying between them are 1 and 2, right? So sometimes when you get the solutions which are natural numbers or whole numbers or integers, what the given condition is in fractions. So what do we suggest you is, we suggest you to make use of the number line. It will be easy for you to reach to the conclusion. Similarly, there's another set B where it says x such that x is solution of x cube minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So what is x here? The solution of this quadratic equation. So when you solve this quadratic equation, right, splitting the middle term, x cube minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 equals to 0. This will give you x minus 3 into x minus 2 equal to 0. So what do you get actually? X equals to 2 and 3. So corresponding roster form will be 2, 3. So this is how you can express the set builder form in the roster form. And the converse is also there. If he is asking us to write, the set builder form of some of the cases, before taking that, let me take one more example. Like if you talk about the word school, and he's asking us to write all the letters, set of all the letters of the word school. So when you write this, it will be SCHOL. I hope you're thinking it right, because if something is getting repeated, it is not repeated while writing it in the roster form of the set. So that's why here we had tools. So only one will be written. Similarly, if we talk about mathematics, and you have to make a set of all the letters of the word mathematics, so what you have to do is you have to write only those. So you have to write M, you have to write A, you have to write T, you have to write H, you have to write E. This M will not be there, this A will not be there, this T will not be there, I will be there, C will be there, and S will be there. Even if there is something like occurring thrice, right? Or if you have to write this, and when you write it in this roster form, तो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ और भी है हमारे पास, खैर वो दैट इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द दिस कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सेट्स, बट स्टिल वी मस्ट नो अबाउट इट कि फ्रॉम अ वर्ड इट्स इजी टू गेट द कलेक्शन ऑफ लेटर्स, बट फ्रॉम द कलेक्शन ऑफ लेटर्स it is difficult to get the word because you can form as many as words you want to. उसमें क्या करना, कुछ नहीं करना, आपको बार बार उसको रिपीट करते जाना है. You keep on repeating like this. NO, first you write NO only, then you write ON, right? One thing more, that order of alphabets in sets is of no significance. This is very important to understand whether I write it NO or I write it ON. So I'll take one example for this also. Order of elements in sets is immaterial or of no significance. Whether you write it as 1 2 3, or you write it as 2 3 1, or you write it as 3 1 2, all these sets will be same. You cannot say that they are different sets. ठीक है, सेट्स में ऑर्डर मैटर नहीं करता. आप एलिमेंट यहाँ मर्जी लिखो, आप एलिमेंट पहले लिखो या आप एलिमेंट बाद में लिखो, it doesn't make a sense. Right now, set of natural numbers is generally denoted by capital N. Set of whole numbers is denoted by W. Set of integers is denoted by Z. आपने you could have studied it in class 9. Zalen करके बोला जाता था इनको. That's why it's denoted by Z. But in some cases, I is also written. For our sake of convenience, we can also write I. बड़ी बात नहीं है. But it will be जो symbolically जो representation इसका रहेगा mathematics में वो Z रहेगा. Right? In some of the books, I will be written. So then rationals is Q, the concept of quotient, and then the reals is denoted by R. Right, sir? So complex we will be doing later on, so I'll not be introducing that concept right now. So these are the 5 basic symbols that we will be using for the basic number system that we have studied till date. Class 9 तक पढ़ा था ना हम लोगों ने. Class 10th was real numbers, class 9 was rational numbers, class 8 was integers, 7 was whole numbers, and 6 was natural numbers. Right? Now, how to represent the roster form into the, what you say is a set builder form. For example, if I am given a set, since all of us can make it out that this is the set of even numbers, even natural numbers less than or equal to 10. So one very basic way of writing it is x such that x is an even natural number less than or equal to 10. or someone could also write it like this: x such that x is an even natural number. Here he'll write strictly less than, and then he can write 11. Okay, sir. And it could also be written like this: x such that x is equal to 2n plus 10. Every even number can be expressed as 2n, and every odd can be expressed as 2n plus 1. Okay, so x such that x is equal to 2n and n belongs to naturals and n is less than equal to 5. So there are various ways of writing it like this. But when we were converting this set builder into the roster, that time we were getting only one answer. So conversion of that roster to set builder is unique, whereas when you convert a roster to set builder, you will have many other options also. और अगर आपका आंसर सिर्फ आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक से मैच कर रहा है, इसका मतलब आपने सॉल्व करने से पहले एक नज़र सॉल्यूशंस को पहले दी है, right? Similarly, you can have other cases like there is one very interesting example in your textbook. It goes like 525, then it is 125, and then it is 625, that is 3125. Let me take it like this only. So if you look at this, what is this? So here x is equal to 5 raised power n. They are exponents of 5 now. 5 की powers हैं. 5 raised power 1, 5 raised power 2, 5 raised power 3, 5 raised power 4, 5 raised power 5. And there n is less than equal to 5, and n belongs to means n is a natural number. N is a natural number, but there is a restriction. Natural number up to 5. So what are the natural numbers up to 5? That is, it means that n is actually equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can put the values and you will get the answer. Right, sir? So this is how do you write set. So there are two ways of writing set. One is the set builder form, another is the roster form. And this is how can you convert one form into the another form. Now, if you talk about your first exercise, your exercise 1.1, there are some very interesting questions here. So in this exercise 1.1, the first question is based on that which of the following are sets or not. So in sets के cases में, wherever there will be the concept of personal interest you say or opinion you say, that will never be a set. Like, so taking an example from everyday life, if you talk about movies of late Shri Irfan ji, so this is set because it is well defined collection. जो उनकी मूवीज़ है वो उन्हीं की मूवीज़ है, उनमें कोई और किसी ने काम नहीं कर सकता और कोई उनका क्रेडिट नहीं ले सकता. ठीक है, दिस इज सेट. बट इफ समबडी आस्क यू बेस्ट मूवीज, rest is same, then this will not be set because best is actually a taste that changes from person to person, right? So I may be liking Slumdog Millionaire, you may be liking The Life of a Pi, or some of us might be liking Maqbool, or some of us might be liking some other movie like an Hindi medium or Angrezi medium. So this is what is to be taken care of, please. A similar type of question is there in your textbook, that all the novels written by Shri Munshi Premchand, that is a set. What if he says the best novel written by Shri Munshi Premchand ji, so then you cannot say. But if he still says the best selling novels, now when he was saying best, that was your choice, but best selling, that is statistically valid. ठीक है ना, ऐसा होगा कि उनकी कौन सी किताब होगी जो सबसे ज़्यादा बिकी होगी. तो उसने बोला कि बेस्ट 5 या टॉप 3 सेलिंग novels written by Shri Premchand ji, so it will definitely be a set, because statistically there will be, something to justify what you will be writing in your answer. Like the questions are there, months of year, obviously it is a set, right? Then there could be a question like you might be asking the team of best bowlers in the world. Nowadays it's too famous, every player is giving his best 11 team of test or 2020 or one days. So it is person to person and they're changing. You could might be observing nowadays, और कभी माइक हसी एक लिस्ट निकालते हैं टीम की, ठीक है, कभी युवराज सिंह निकालते हैं, कभी गौतम गंभीर निकालते हैं, तो हर एक की टीम अलग अलग आती है। क्यों? क्योंकि उसमें पर्सनल परसेप्शंस हैं। तो जहाँ पे वर्ड आपके पास ये आ जाए, टेस्ट वाले वर्ड्स आपके पास आ जाए, बेस्ट आ जाए, बैड आ जाए, गुड आ जाए, सो इट विल नॉट बी अ सेट। एक सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग जो एग्जांपल हमें लगती है वो यहाँ पे ये है, मोस्ट डेंजरस एनिमल्स। मोस्ट डेंजरस एनिमल्स, इज इट अ सेट और नॉट? अब यहाँ पे बड़े इनपुट्स अलग अलग से रहते हैं, जनरली लोगों के आंसर्स रहते हैं स्नेक, लेपर्ड, टाइगर, लायन। आजकल वायरसेस बहुत फैले हुए हैं, बट ह्यूमन उसमें बड़ा कम आंसर आता है, तो इट कुड ऑल्सो बी एन ऑप्शन थे, बट पर्सन टू पर्सन चेंज हो रहा है, बिकॉज यहाँ पे चॉइस आ गई। जो मेरे लिए मोस्ट डेंजरस है वो आपके लिए हो सकता है पालतू हो, ठीक है जी। सो अगेन दिस इज नॉट अ सेट। सो आई होप द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सेट्स इज क्लियर. So we have done the basics of sets. In next lecture we'll come about what are the various types of sets, how to define them, and what are the various operations that are there in set theory. Thank you so much.